All right, here we go. This is it. Two more. One more. We'll do one tonight, one tomorrow night probably, and that should be it. I've decided to change a few things. I'm going to move this cabinet over here, put the keyboard over by the window, and move that cabinet over here. I think it'll look better. It's just looking kind of junky over there. But anyway, that's later. You can see I'm kind of getting there. Room's starting to come together. So let's go ahead and start going through these bad boys and get this done. I'm trying to do it without interruptions, but it's possible I could be interrupted tonight. So let's see how it goes. Okay. Okay, didn't really set myself up that well tonight, but all right. So I have Styx, Paradise Theater, Supertramp, Crime of the Century. It's one I got to listen to a little bit more. Supertramp, Breakfast in America. Now what's up, Sam? You can come up if you like, or just hang out there, whatever you want to do. So I have that Supertramp, and then I have the MoFi. So what I need to do is make a decision here. If the MoFi is fine, I need to get rid of the other one. I need to kind of get these old duplicates out of here. What happened is I had their Supertramp one, and then the MoFi came along later. Just never got rid of it, the original one. So Diana Ross and the Supremes. This is one of their very early ones that I picked up. I'm going to have to give it a listen and make sure the quality is okay. But their greatest hits, and that's covers everything that I need. And then, I don't know, this one I'm kind of borderline on. It's hit or miss for me. Central Mexico. I'll probably hold on to this for right now. I'm going to hold on to it, give it another listen. I think this one needs to grow on me a little bit more. And then, all right, so let's do this. Let's put these away first. Put that other one on there backwards. What is up, Richard? Yeah, if anybody wants to come up, just let me know in the comments, and I'll put a link out there, or you can just hang out. Okay. Yeah, that's not good. All right, next one is Tears for Fears. It was up to 5. 2 people left me already. The Hurting. I might end up being a Tears for Fears completist. This has Mad World on it. Love that. Really like that song. That line with the kids. Every child waits for I forgot the line. The best day or their day, and it's happy birthday, and then talking about like not being known in the classroom, and I can relate to that. I had to switch high schools multiple times, and every time I went to a new school, I was just like sitting there by myself, which I didn't mind too much because I was kind of I like my alone time, but at the same time, you kind of felt it like, Jesus, I don't know anybody here. What else was on here? I don't know what other releases they had on this. I think this was their first one. And then songs from The Big Chair. Had a lot of big hits on there, of course. Everybody Wants to Rule the World, Shout, Head Over Heels. Yeah, just a good, solid album. This one I like a lot. Seeds of Love, definitely very Beatles inspired as far as the Seeds of Love song, but good, solid album. Obviously, I have some more in there I need to fill in, but their last album, really good. Tipping Point. Need to listen to this again. It's one of those, I can't remember how all the songs went, but I know I really enjoyed it, so I need to get more familiar with it. Seem to have a lot of those albums. All right. All right, just a solid band here. So Tedeschi Trucks Band, I have them, I think this is a 3 LP, them redoing the whole Layla album live. I think Doyle Bramhall's on here too. But this is it's a fun listen. Um, yeah, 3 LPs, and then there's an etching on one of them. But just solid, great guitar playing, great vocals, just really good. And then I got, I don't think these were, no, I don't think they were EPs. I think they were whole albums, but it was a whole series. It was 1, 2, 3, 4 albums that all went together. Episode 1 of 4, I Am the Moon series, black vinyl. So I have all 4 of those. I need to listen to it again. It's a journey. I think it was based off of the story of Layla, the real story. And I forgot what the whole thing was. There's a really neat story behind this whole thing. I just need to revisit it. But yeah, this is a really good series. I would say series, I guess a good set, because there's 4 of them there. All right. We've got something to set them on. We can put them on top of my books over here. Yeah, it's not going to work. All right. It's a good one. Some hit or miss on it, but just that Soundgarden, Mother Love Bone, I think, and Pearl Jam sort of tribute album, Temple of the Dog. I was happy to see that come out on vinyl. And then this one I really like, Ben Mott, you know, a keyboardist for Tom Petty, but this is just a solid album. I love his voice on here. It's a 2-album set. This is when I'm like, I need to play this again. Just kind of gets lost in there, but this is a solid album. Ben Mott Tench. Then this is part of, I believe, Coal Mine. Maybe not Coal Mine, but it's kind of like funk, soul. The Sacred Souls. Just really good, solid. I think it's a 3-piece group from what I remember, but just a good, fun album. And these guys I finally got into. I had this album in my collection just sitting there unopened for like a year. This was a little while back, but finally put this on. I'm like, holy crap, why did I take so long to listen to this album? But Jailbreak by Thin Lizzy, just what a great album. Just solid hits all the way through, good melodies. So I'm glad I got into it, because in the record store day came up and they had this live album. This is really a good sounding live album. To go with it. It has a lot of the Jailbreak stuff. This is them in 1976. Might be the Jailbreak tour. But yeah, really glad I picked this one up. I don't know how much more Thin Lizzy I'll be picking up, but glad I got those 2. Doing pretty good, getting these cubbies filled up. All right. All right. Put this here. Okay. Traffic. John Barleycorn Must Die. Good one. Yep, it's coming along, man. I'm getting it there. So I'm gonna move a couple things around, make it look a little bit better. I'm not liking how it quite looks yet, but yeah. So yeah, John Barleycorn Must Die. That's a good one. My Traffic. Hopefully that album's in good shape. I kind of think that one's rough. And then this is Traffic, but it doesn't say it. I forgot there was some contract thing or some issue with it. The only way you know it's Traffic, and it's a live album, is their symbol right there on like the ketchup or the bottle. I think that's a ketchup bottle or some kind of bottle. But good solid album. You got Steve Winwood, Rick Gretsch, Dave Mason, Jim Gordon. So you have some of the guys from Alex Says Hi. Did he make it off the throne last night? Yeah, but Welcome to the Canteen is a good live album. So I have 2 copies of this. This just recently came my way, and I think it's a pretty much really close to first pressing, very close to an original. I got to see exactly when it was pressed, but good early copy of this album. And I had to make a decision. It was clean too. I found it at a yard sale, got it for a couple bucks. But I already had a reissue of it, so I'll have to make a decision. I really need to get these doubles out of here, clean it up a little bit. And then Traveling Wilburys Volume 3. Still looking for Volume 2. I don't know if I'll ever find it, if you know what I mean, right? All right. And then not a huge fan of Train, but I like their first album, their debut album. Drops of Jupiter is a really cool song. She's on Fire, I liked. Something More. They just had good melodies and everything going on there. I thought their lyrics were good. But past that, I thought they get a little silly with their lyrics. All right. Move this. We're getting there. Let's see. Okay. And make sure you tell Alex I do say hi. All right. I think this one's okay. Let me check this real quick, because I am pulling them out if they're too tight. Nope, this is fine. I'm limited on my U2. Not a total U2 fan. Might need a greatest hits, but this period of the Joshua Tree, Lanois, can't lose on that. Rattle and Hum, love it all the way through. So those two are, Rattle and Hum's going to be my first favorite, Joshua Tree second. And I thought there was a couple mediocre on this one, but the hits are just great on this. So this would be my third favorite U2 album. But and that's about all I'm going to get from U2, I think. I might go back and revisit some of the earlier stuff I know I need to visit. We'll see if anything happens there, but definitely later. Not a big fan. Right. So we'll split this in two with the Van Halen. We'll start with the David Lee Roth years, and then we'll go into the Sammy years. So, and Van Halen is going to have that live album in 92, 93. It's coming out Record Store Day, so I'm looking forward to getting that. Like I said, if anybody wants to come up, just let me know. I'll put a link. Just let me know in the comments. So anyway, their debut album. And this one, I think this is the one that made me kind of shine on YouTube when I started about 2 years ago. Got a lot of hits. I was like, oh, this is great. Never got hits like that before. But I had an issue with the pressing, and a lot of people were very interested in that. So I'm glad I did that video. And then you have Van Halen. I think it's Van Halen 2, right? There you go. I don't know if I ever I think I did a ranking on this. I know I ranked all their stuff. I have to look back and see if I did that video. Then the third album, Women and Children First. Where's Melinda Murphy when you need her, right? She loves this Van Halen. Fair Warning. Diver Down. I think there's only 9 songs, and it's a lot of all covers, I think. Majority covers. Might be some originals, but have that. And then their last one with David Lee Roth, 1984. Hit and miss, but it's such good songs as far as the ones that are good, that it makes up for the ones that aren't so good. But yeah, 1984. Struggling. All right, now we'll get into the Sammy years. And so I have a copy. I had finally gotten a copy of OU 812. And then, of course, after I finally got a copy of it, and good price, didn't pay much for it. Then, of course, this comes out. I didn't do the Van Halen one because I already had all the albums. So I'm like, what's the point? I guess it would be kind of neat to have these side by side and have all the albums in there, but I don't want to put all that money into it. But yeah, this takes it all the way from my my favorite Van Halen album, 5150. Love that album. That just hit at the right time. Summer nights, played that like crazy during the summer of that year. And then the OU 812. And then For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, Balance. And then this one was the extra one with rarities and I think live stuff. Was there live? I think there was a live, but stuff off the Tornado soundtrack and things like that. So has some good stuff and then some, okay stuff. But glad to have this to kind of wrap up what I want for Van Halen. I know I'm missing Van Halen 3, and that's the one with, were there 2 with the other guy from Extreme? But 3 was not a great album, but I don't know if I find it for a good price, I might get it just to complete the collection. That would be about it. Oh, cool. Yeah, Richard, that's just beginning to end on that album. Just not a bad song on there for me. Love that album. All right. Let's get into some good stuff here. All right. And here's another one. I can't remember if I have all his stuff or not. Gary, New York. I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about, Sam. Lost me. All right. Gary, my Sharona. Gary. Oh, we're talking about, Gary, Sharon. Okay. Now I got it. Okay. I see what you're saying here. My mind's on this. I'm not in joke land here. So keep them coming. I'll try to keep hitting them out. All right. So Stevie Ray Vaughan, Texas Flood. I believe this was his debut. I think I got all his albums. I can't remember. I have to look at the list, but got Texas Flood. And he's another one. I have all the albums. I like them, but I have to listen to these albums and get more familiar with them. Then I Couldn't Stand the Weather. And this was cool. Music on Vinyl. Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble live at Carnegie Hall. Really good sounding album. Soul to Soul, another Music on Vinyl. So good sounding album. And then Live Alive, Music on Vinyl, another great sounding album. Is this one he does Little Wing on? He does Superstition. Oh, Voodoo Child. That's the big one on there. But yeah, very, very good live album. And then I was lucky to get a lot of these Music on Vinyl versions. Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble in Step. So these Music on Vinyls just sound really good. This is one I like a lot. The Sky is Crying, also Music on Vinyl. I love Life by the Drop off of this album. Just what a song about just meeting up with an old friend and reminiscing. And then, just in the mood for it, I put on The Essential, that kind of thing. No, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I was like, what? My Sharona? What are we talking about? You're supposed to help me, Sam, so I don't look like a moron out here. All right. Okay. So we're getting into the interesting stuff. So let me just show this one real quick. This is a borderline. I kind of got it because also, the VC talks about it so much, but I'm going to hold on to it. I need to grasp this album a little bit more because there is definitely some good stuff on here. Obviously a reissue, and has a bonus track, Chelsea Girls. So there's that one. What's this? You? All right. So I got a bunch of this artist coming up. I don't know if you guys can hear me all the way back here. But I'm getting into some Tom Waits. Love the Tom Waits. I have a majority of his albums at this point. So I have Closing Time, his debut album. A lot different than where he would end up sound-wise. But great, just singer-songwriter stuff. The Eagles covered Old 45. And that second song on there, I Hope I Don't Fall in Love with You Tonight. Just heartbreaking. Great writing. Then I have Heart of Saturday Night. The Heart of Saturday Night. I always mispronounce that. And this is a remastered version. Then I have a remastered Nighthawks at the Diner. And if I remember this correctly, this is sort of live. It's I have to listen to this one again, but I like the vibe of this, and I believe it was some live recordings on that. Then a Small Change with little Elvira back there, before she was Elvira, I believe. And then Foreign Affairs. This is a good one. This is I think they were saying it's mostly piano based, and I believe now that I think about it, the guitar isn't as present, but good brass on here, like saxophone and things like that. So this is just a good, and this is a good album cover too. It really represents the feel of the album. Kind of dark, kind of just dreamy a little bit. And then I got this. This isn't like the best recording, but it's cool to have. It's Tom Waits live. I think this was I believe it was a Record Store Day release, something. But this is November 1976 live. So it's a cool one to have. All right, we're halfway through already. Holy crap. Man, I have a lot of Tom Waits. Okay. Then I have Blue Valentine. So a lot of these I really have to get more familiar with, but I just put on Tom Waits and it's a feel. Just love it. I've been just listening to him and not absorbing him, if that makes sense. Heart Attack and Vine. So I have like an original here. Don't know if it's a first pressing, but it's an early album there. But then I also have the remastered version, so I need to make a decision there. Don't need two copies. And then this was one of the recent re-releases, 40th anniversary reissue remaster of Swordfish Trombone. That's definitely where he's getting into his more experimental. The voice is getting more gruff. He's changing his style a bit. Any best place to start with Tom Waits? Okay, so I would say he's a progression. So I would say start with Closing Time, the very first one, and work your way through. And that's the best way if you haven't really listened to Tom Waits. It's a great opportunity to see how he changed his style by starting with that first album. And just slowly, he was a fan of like the Beatnik guys, the Kerouacs. I think he enjoyed Bukowski. But yeah, start with Closing Time and go to Wikipedia. You can see the order his albums came out and just go in release date order. I would do that. You can skip this one. It's a soundtrack. You do it Crystal Gale. I got it because it's in really good shape. It's not my favorite Tom Waits album, but it's not bad. But I don't think I'll be grabbing it to put it on. But it's good to have in the collection. And this was a movie that Coppola directed. Now, revered. Rain Dogs is very revered. I like it, but it hasn't really grown on me yet. Again, I need to listen to more Tom Waits. But when you get to Rain Dogs, this is, and this isn't Tom Waits. This was some other guy. It was a French photographer or something, and he took this picture and they used it because it almost looks like John Hyatt to me in that picture, a young John Hyatt. But that's what Tom Waits actually looked at it like at the time. So not him on the front. Then you get into Frank's wild years, and it gets stranger, more experimental. He brings in all these different sounds and ideas, and you really want to get an idea of his. There's some really good videos out on YouTube that really show you, like I wish I could bring up that video right now, but there's a really good one where he's being interviewed. He's having a good time with the guy. The interviewer's asking him sort of nonsense questions, but it's Tom feeds off of it, and he just brings some nonsense back, and you can tell they're having a good time. Anybody tells you about like his writing style and what he's looking for, and lyrics. He likes to play with words, just all these different things. So it's a really interesting interview. And then Bone Machine remastered. I really was able to really catch up on the later Tom Waits stuff when they remastered this stuff, and about 5 or 6 of them came out. I think it was last year. And then Black Rider. And I believe he works with, who is the poet? See, I always forget who the poet was. It was Black Rider. He did, he also, the poet also worked with Kurt Cobain and did The Priest, they called him. And it's really dark, and Kurt Cobain does all his noise and stuff in the background. Burroughs, William S. Burroughs, maybe. So I think he has a bit on this. So anyway, Black Rider. All right, this is the last of the Tom Waits. So yeah, Richard, definitely start with Closing Time. That's great that you haven't really gotten into his albums. I think if you like that first one, work your way through and just see how he grows. And there's great videos out there where people break down his songs and really talk about what he's doing. Because he starts doing that later on. He does that rough stuff. But there's reasons for it. All right, Mule Variations. Let me check. Make sure it's not too tight in here. No, that's fine. But I have Mule Variations. Did this have Downbound Train on it? Or not Downbound Train, that's Springsteen. Oh, Big in Japan is a good song off this. Okay. Tom Waits' Alice. I think, okay, yeah, so this didn't have it. But this came out, he released 2 albums at the same time, kind of like Springsteen when he did that in the 90s. Tom Waits released this one, and I'm pretty sure it was Blood Money at the same time as separate albums. And he said they're different sounds, different styles. You don't have to buy both, but Mule, yeah. I have to go back and really listen to Mule again. Did this one have what was it called? Whatever Train that Rod Stewart covered and a bunch of people covered. Which album was that on? I want to say Downbound Train, but Will I See You Tonight on a freaking train, whatever it was. And then I got these. This is part of the Orphans collection, available on its own for the first time. So he put out a box set, and I wish I'd gotten a hold of that because it came with a record player or something, like an old record player or something. I've never seen it. I've only heard about it, but that would be really neat to have. But I was able to get the albums that were in there. Oh, Downtown Train. Oh, it is on Rain Dogs. Okay. Yeah, I kind of get those mixed up. See, I gotta get a little more familiar with that. And I don't think it's a compilation. have to look it up. I can't remember if these were just outtake songs that weren't included on things or compilation. I think these are outtake songs. But I have all three. There was Orphans, but this is Brawlers. I think this was the first one, if I hopefully have them in order. Let me make sure. Yeah. Brawlers, Ballers, and Bastards. So that's Brawlers. This is Ballers. And these are the little bastards right here. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, do you have this, Sam? Do you have this stuff? These albums? Right. All the studio stuff. Okay. So you have all the Tom Waits. Is it on CD or do you have it all on vinyl? More questions for Sam. All right, Joe Walsh, The Confessor. Just, yeah, good album. Love that album. Love the sound of that album. Confessor. Come on. 2 copies of Pros and Cons of Hitchhiking. Still trying to find, like, there you go, butt and no butt. I think this one was a little bit better. I've been trying to find a good copy of it. It seems like every time I get that album, there's issues with the sound. So I'll have to go back and revisit that and narrow that down to one. You have all the CDs. Okay. It's funny because I'm getting all his stuff slowly on CD also. Roger Waters, live in Berlin when he did The Wall. Yeah, just a lot of guest stars on here. I think even like Van Morrison's on here too. Like, yeah, Bryan Adams, the band, Levon Helm, Rick Danko, Garth Hudson. So there's the band. Paul Carrick, Thomas Dolby, Jerry Hall, the model. Or is there a musician? The Hooters, Cyndi Lauper, Joni Mitchell. I forgot she was on there. Van Morrison, Sinead O'Connor, Scorpions. Yeah, so just a lot of cool guest appearances. I haven't listened to this in a while. I have the CD from when it originally came out, and this came along at a good price, so I grabbed it. So, and here's the one you've been waiting for. Believe it or not, this album grew on me. Don't know how, but wham, make it big. Yeah. Wake Me Up Before You Go. Yeah. I don't know how. It just grew on me. But Everything She Wants, I did like that song as a kid. I always liked the sound of that. There were a couple kind of little duds on here, but for the most part, it's a good album. Careless Whispers on here. Freedom. So, yep. I have a Wham album. Anyway, Whitesnake. Love this Whitesnake album. Favorite Whitesnake album. I'd like to get a copy of Slide It In because I do like that one also. And that's about it for Whitesnake on me. For me, whatever. But yeah. Here I Go Again, Crying in the Rain. Just good, solid, straight through, all the way album on here. Right. I hate it when there's wires in the back. Like albums go in there and kind of meet the wall, so fighting the wires the whole time. Okay. Here's one I'll be getting rid of. I gave it a second listen. It wasn't one that I was really thrilled with. Slide It is my favorite Whitesnake. Yeah, I got to listen to it again. I remember liking it a lot. I had it on tape. I never had it on CD. But yeah, if I see that on vinyl, I'm going to pick it up. This one I'm going to get rid of. The Who, BD, Big and Bouncy. It's a compilation album. But just, I don't know, I was listening to it and I just wasn't digging it that much. I mean, it has good stuff on it, like My Generation and The Kids Are All Right. But for the, Pinball Wizards on here, but yeah, it just didn't really do it for me. So I'm gonna let this one go. But this one I will not let go. Love this album, The Who, Who's Next. So that one definitely will be remaining. Wilco, I don't like a lot of Wilco, but I was doing walk and talks and a couple of these songs came up, then I gave the album a listen and I really like this album, just solid. There's what's the one on here that sounds like one of the guys from the band singing it? Walk-In's one I did. I don't think that was the song. There was another one. Just has that. Sounds like he's going to go out of tune singing. I'd like to hear more of his vocals, but very good. And then, yeah, Gone Too Soon, Amy Winehouse, Back in Black. I want to get a copy of Frank, but for some reason that album's always, it's more than what I want to pay for. It's like $30, $35. I don't know why, but it seems like it's a decent album. But I do have this. This is really good. It's Amy Winehouse at the BBC. There's a couple of repeats of some of the songs on here, but for the most part, it's solid. Just listening to her live, 3-album set. So very nice. Getting dinged on my cell phone. Let's see what's up. There's my cell phone. We're almost through it. Let's see. Okay. All right. What do we have here? Yeah, keeper. Don't know why I have that. Okay. Okay, so this is part of the coal. All right, I'm gonna have to take a second here, guys. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. I had to take a phone call. All right, so this is a part of the Coal Mine collection, Coal Mine Records, the Winston Brothers. Good solid drift. I think they were out of German band that did some funk music. So very good. I have one Johnny Winter, but second Winter, really good album. Good solid blues, blue-eyed soul blues or whatever. Don't know. I have 2 of these. I'm gonna have to listen and see. But I have Stevie Wonder, Music of My Mind. That this is early period of where he was on a nice run. Oh, look, I can't take a break. People leave me. Really? Come on now. Anyway, that's the other one. I think one's more of an original. One might be a reissue. Oh, okay, Richard. I don't know if you can see me, but thank you for popping up. I appreciate it. All right, Stevie Wonder talking book. Stevie Wonder Inner Visions. And this album cover looks very similar. Fulfillingness's first finale. And the best, I like all of those. Still need to get a little bit more used to them, but this is the one, the Songs in the Key of Life, and this is the one that has the 45 in it. And then if you're just in the mood for whatever, compilation. Really good, strong, solid compilation. Good hits on here. I probably won't venture out on Steve. I think there's one more earlier than, what did I say? The first one was Music of My Mind. I think there was one just before that that somebody was saying is a good idea to get. Why is this thing all weird? Hold on. I don't know why I have this in sideways. It was like sliding out on me here. If it doesn't fit, then it doesn't get asleep. I don't know why that was in there sideways. But there we go. Oh, because I must have had it. It's one of those weird ones. Right? Yeah. It looked, I guess it folds down. That's why. Make sure the album doesn't fall out, but it goes not even really a continuation. It's weird, but it folds here, so it actually goes like that. So I must have put it in wrong. Thinking that was supposed to go that way. Anyway. All right. Go. Just making sure they're not in there too tight, loosening it up a little bit. This, I guess part one would be Neil Young tonight, because Neil continues at some point. I might even end it here, because I have so many Neil Young. We're at the 42-minute mark. I might end it here and then start tomorrow night with Neil Young, because I have so much freaking Neil Young. So we're going to end it with this. I'm glad to get a good copy of this. It was a Record Store Day release. Better than the copy I had. So 5 Live Yardbirds. And then Yola. Really like this album. Walk Through the Fire. Good soulful singer. She does a copy of Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, but it's not on this. But if you haven't checked her out, check her out. She's got a little bit of a country flair to her, but she's soulful too, and she's a guitar player. So like I said, I'll stop it there because I have a lot of Neil Young to go through, and it's 11:42. I'm gonna get to bed on time tonight. So thanks for hanging out, guys. I appreciate it, and continue this. So hopefully I'll get through all the rest of it tomorrow. So there might be 2 more videos, but at least 1 more. And we'll start with Neil Young. All right. So you guys take care. Enjoy your music, and I'll talk to you soon. All right. Oh, look at the fish tank. I didn't turn my TV off. All right. Bye, guys.